Hi folks, today we're going to look at the derivatives of the inverse sine and the inverse cosine. We're going to do a few examples of them, but first I want to derive them. Now take a look here. We have the inverse sine. I need to take the derivative, but I don't know what it is. So what I need to do is to derive that derivative. Now what I do know is I don't know the derivative of the inverse sine, but I do know the derivative of sine. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to take this derivative, take just the sine y of both sides. Okay, that's going to be my first step, is take the sine y of both sides. So I'm going to say sine y equals x. And the reason this side equals x is because sine y, the inverse sine of the sine, is 1. Okay, and then I'm going to come underneath, okay, here, and I'm going to take the derivative. So the derivative of sine y is, well, cosine y. And of course, this is an implicit derivative, as usual. So I put follow with the dy dx, and of course the derivative of x is 1. Well, remember in implicit derivatives, we want to get dy dx by itself. Okay, so to do that, we just divide both sides by cosine y. So dy dx is 1 over cosine y. Now, you would think you would be done, but you're not. Okay, because we can't leave cosine y in our answer. We need to have our answer in terms of x, because x was in the original problem, it needs to be in our answer. But we do have a couple of things we can do here. We do know this, that the sine squared of x plus the sine squared of y plus the cosine squared of y is equal to 1. We know that. This is just a basic standard Pythagorean identity. So that allows us to solve for cosine y. And if we do that correctly, we'll get cosine y equals the square root of 1 minus sine squared y. Now, normally when you take a square root, you would put a plus or minus in front of it. But in this case, you don't need to, because the domain and the range of sine allows us, because the inverse sine's domain and range are between pi and negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, that domain, that means cosine is positive in that zone. That's why we don't have to worry about the cosine being positive. Okay, because I have this little feature right here, because I have that identity, I can replace the cosine y in my derivative here with the 1 over the 1 minus sine squared y, like so. Okay, well, we all know what sine y is equal to. Take a look, it's right here. Sine y equals x. So I can rewrite my derivative here. Okay, I can rewrite my derivative then by substitution as 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. And there's your answer. Okay, that is the derivative. Now that allows us to conclude a couple things. Okay, in more general terms then, if I have y equals the inverse sine of a function u, its derivative, okay, is going to be u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. Now, I could go through the same derivation of the inverse cosine, but there's really only one small difference for the inverse cosine's formula for the derivative, because the derivation is exactly the same. So if I do have y equals the inverse cosine of u, I'm having pen troubles here, sorry about that. If I have the inverse cosine of u, just like before, that means my derivative is equal to negative u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. Okay? And that's what it looks like. Okay? All right, so let's do some examples of this. Just a couple here, just to kind of get it going. We'll do some of these two, which are pretty basic, and then I'll look at maybe one more advanced example. Okay, so for this guy, we find the derivative. Remember, the derivative is, for sine, is u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. And for the inverse cosine, it's negative u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. Okay? So over here we say dy dx is equal to the derivative of the argument of the sine, which is 2, just 2, over the square root of 1 minus, well, u squared, 2x squared. And that's it. That's your derivative. Now for the inverse cosine, you have the same idea, but it's negative this time. So we do the derivative of x squared, which of course is 2x, and then we divide by 1 minus x squared squared. Now you might see this more simplified, of course, like this. Okay? So it's a pretty straightforward derivative once you get it down. So let's look at another example, something a little more complex, like this guy. Oh no. Notice we have an x and an inverse sine. That means we have a product rule going on here. So these can be used in all other derivative situations. So let's take a look then. So we say dy dx is equal to, well, the derivative of x is 1. So I would say, okay, it's 1 times 4x to the 4th plus the derivative now of this guy, okay, which is, okay, remember it's u prime on top, so it's 16x to the 3rd over the square root of 1 minus 4x to the 4th squared times this x here, don't forget this guy, x, which of course is your product rule. Now all of this may be simplified a wee bit to give you this is a final answer, okay, where you combine the x and the x cubed to make that x to the 4th, and underneath the radical you might see this is 16x to the 8th. So just be mindful of that you might see something like that for answers in answer keys and things while you're doing problems, because it's a more simplified form. All right, so let's do one last example here. Notice we have the e here. So this is a simple chain rule question. Of course, we all know the derivative of e, okay, is itself. So it starts with e to the cosine -1 of x. And then you can either put the derivative of the inverse cosine in front or in the back. I'm going to do it in the back just to kind of follow the chain rule principle here, because now I'm going to take the derivative of the exponent, which is the inverse cosine. The nice thing about this is the top will be the derivative of x, which is 1, and on bottom we just have 1 minus x squared. And that's a very straightforward derivative. Well, I hope this helps. This is the first in a video series on dealing with the inverse trig functions. I'll be following this up with the inverse tan and cotan, the inverse secant and inverse cosecant as well. All right, have a great day. Thank you very much.